Well, I retired after 40 years of practice. I still see patients at a free clinic here in Kearney that we started in 2015. But they're usually just school physicals. It's part of my faith, I think, drove me to want to come out here and to want to start a nursery intensive care unit and start taking care of critically ill children. Okay, now real quiet, I just want to listen to your heart.
He was a pioneer out here because he came out here when there was no other medical service, especially for children, and with no real backup, no specialist hospitals, anybody really out here to support him in taking care of children, and he would do whatever he needed to do to get that care to them.
As I went through medical school, I realized that I really enjoyed two areas, internal medicine and pediatrics, and was fascinated by pediatrics because they were just getting into neonatal care. I wanted to take care of sick kids, and at that time, what we were doing in Omaha wasn't being done out here. So there were no nursery intensive care units, so kids were dying before we could get to them. What I started within the first weeks that I was here is actually transporting premature babies, sick babies, and older children. And so probably one of the humorous things is when I first came, I thought that I could use the ambulance service, and I was told no. I was told that I needed to just contact one of the mortuaries and I could transport in their vehicle. That's not a very good idea. That was the one and only time. And after that, I started transporting in my car, which was a Mercury Capri. We would take the front seat out and I'd have my nurse climb in behind me. We'd put the transport isolette in and go down the road. And that started in June of 1971. By that winter, by November, it was starting to snow, and my little Mercury Capri was a rear-end vehicle that did not get around very well. And so I rented a GMC Jimmy I leased. Probably within 6 months or a year, the sheriff came to me and asked if I wanted to become a member of the fire department or of the sheriff's department so I could have a light and a siren.
Back then, we didn't use seat belts much, so not only did I sit backwards in the Jimmy on the console, but imagine you're going fast and you're watching this infant and you're not paying attention, and if he puts on the brakes, you're scared to death because you're backwards, you don't know what's going on.
And by 1982, we actually started helicopter transporting, not just babies, but older children and actually adults.
Not only got that program started, he had to teach the doctors how to resuscitate initially the infants, and then how to prepare them for transport, to recognize illness in the infants and in the children. So it wasn't just, I'm a good pediatrician right here. He went beyond that and taught others.
His famous saying was, "You'll never find anything if you don't look for it," because he felt that a lot of kids were missed because maybe they didn't come in for well visits, and they would just be seen when they were sick. We did a thorough, comprehensive eval, which would include a hearing and vision.
You know, when I talk about the word pioneer, you think about somebody that truly forged a new path, and he did. It was amazing. What it did for the community was really got to keep babies closer to their families. People still talk about when Dr. Shaffer saved my husband or my daughter or my granddaughter. People really remember all of that and all of the lives we've touched and things that he's done. I hope he looks at the mark he's made in not just our community, but all of central Nebraska, and realizes how thankful we all are for all of the things he's done.
Probably the most important message that you could give in medicine is a message of hope. We're there for you, we care about you, we'll always be there with you. I couldn't have done any of those things, again, without support of family and all of the individuals that help.